Congratulations, you've just found the last video you're ever going to need to watch when it comes to navigation bars. In this video, I'm going to run you through a framework, and I don't really like the word framework because it kind of sounds like a guru-y thing, but it's essentially just an acronym. So it's LMC. And what we're going to do in this video is run through a very practical example. I'm going to build it for you, and then you can literally use this for every single website that you build. And the reason for this is it's a proven method, and we use it for our website, we use it for all of our clients' websites, and it's nothing but effective. So let's just jump straight into it. So I'm going to do this in Figma, and I'll just set up a basic design space. So we're going to say a desktop. I've preloaded in my logo and a color that I really like, so just to make things a little bit quicker. But the rest of it we're going to do from scratch. So going to give it this background, and again, just for design's sake, we're going to add a little bit of a helper to show us what we're actually doing. Okay, so what we're going to start with is the acronym, and the acronym is LMC. So what does this actually mean? Well, L stands for logo, M stands for menu, and C stands for call to action. And the reason why it's in this order is because that's the order you're going to put it on your navigation bar. So it always starts with the logo. And what is a navigation bar? It is essentially just a bar at the top of your website. So that's what we're going to put here, just as a guideline again. Let's bring it in so it doesn't go full width, and we're going to make it white. So you need it to stand out. White is a good color, black is a good color, or if you've got a brand color that you want to include in here, that also works. Then we need to add our logo. Logo goes on the left-hand side. Then we need to add the menu. And when it comes to a menu, there's always a question of what you include in that actual menu list. And the thing that you need to consider is when someone is using your menu, they're navigating to essentially categories of what they're looking for. They're not always looking to navigate right down. So as an example, when you go and you look up a restaurant to eat, you might narrow it down to Mexican cuisine. You're not going to narrow it down to the seat booth in the restaurant that fills a whole list of things. So you can be quite overarching if you've got a big menu item. But for example, for us, we literally do three things: design, and I'll do another menu item. We do marketing, and we do software development. So that's our three overarching things. Now within design, there's a whole bunch of things. Within marketing, there's a whole bunch of things. So if it's just one tier down, then you can put it as a drop down and say have Facebook marketing, Google ads, that in a drop down, or you can let them click on it and navigate into, use the page to navigate to the next section. So you can keep it quite overarching, the menu, because it's to help people get through your website and get to where they're going the easiest. If you give them too many decisions, they get decision paralysis, and that's not good for your bottom line. Now we've got the menu, and what I'll do is I'll just keep it here for now. The final one is your call to action. So this is how you get people to take the main action that you want them to take. For my business, again, it's to get a quote. So you can say, get my free quote, and then you've got your CTA. You could say that's it. That's the requirements of a menu. That's all the options you need. You don't need to put a home button, because nowadays it is just standard that the logo is your home button. So if they click there, it takes them to the home page. The problem with this menu as it is, other than the messed up spacing and all of that, is that the get my free quote, which is your call to action, doesn't grab my attention. And this is sort of the holy grail, is to get them to go from any page to click on that button, because that's how you get them to become a client. You start to speak to them, all of those things, and you have the chance to convert them into revenue for your business. So what you need to do is have some way of making this pop out. And the way that we do it is through a button. Essentially, all we're going to do, I'll take that behind there, and we're going to turn this into a contrasting button. So it should be very obvious when someone looks at your menu. Their eyes should ideally go straight to the button, if not then logo to button. The menu's kind of a secondary thing there. So now that we've got a button around it, it's looking better, but it's still not jumping out. So typically what we do is use the highlight color. So for this case, we're going to use the brand color. And then what you'll see is when we zoom out, that's now much more noticeable and jumps right out at us. But again, we can take this a little bit further in terms of design, change the text is contrasted as well as the background. You can then go ahead and clean this up and make this look a little bit fancy. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll speed the video up so you don't have to watch it all. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. The only other thing that I'd probably do is just bring it down so it's sitting a little bit below, just to give it a nice artistic flair, and maybe make it a little bit more narrow so that it doesn't take up too much space. And then we can get rid of this and take off the guidelines. And you'll see you now have a really nicely designed, and also what's more important in my opinion is a very functional menu bar. And you can now use this for literally any website that you're using or you're building. It works great in every industry. We've tested it across over 27 different industries, and it works in all of them. So give this a go. Make sure you remember the LMC method and you won't go wrong. So if you've enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.